Hey, John here again. So I got this 2002 GMC Sierra. I don't know if I've had it for quite a few years, but it's a short box, right? And if you ever had a long bed, I've had a long bed Ford. You're gonna know the difference between an 8-foot bed and whatever the difference is here, 12 to 18 inches, whatever it is. So you can't like put a sheet of plywood, a sheet of sheetrock, or whatever, and close the gate, right? So I think I'm gonna just make a tailgate to get my 8-foot back and get rid of this tailgate. Let me go back and show you what I got for scrap metal. I'm going to build this all out of aluminum, and like I said, get it to be 8 foot again. Also have a gate function. I don't know if it's going to go up this way, barn doors. I don't know what I'm going to do yet. I got a few things in mind, but that's where I'm at. I'm just showing you the before, and you know what, I'll probably just go from to the next segment, to the finished product. It's going to take me a few minutes, obviously. Probably going to take me a few weeks. I'm just going to tackle it here and there after work, and I'll probably just show you what I ended up with end result, and then you can stick around and see how I built it afterwards, I guess, because us YouTubers, we get like a attention span of 4 minutes. Alright, so that's what I came up with. I'll take it in a little closer to show you how it operates, but that is an extension, a true extension. Let me go and show you how this thing operates here, but that's what it looks like from the side view. That's what it looks like on the end. Alright, so there's 2 pins, that one on this side, one on that side, that will hold the gate up, and there's a pin, a spring-loaded pin, that's holding that gate down. So when you're going down the road, well, for fuel mileage, even though this thing has, well, you'll see in a second, but so if you want to load something, like I said, this is a 2 by 2 inch square tubing, but it's a 1/4 inch thick, so it'll support anything you're gonna, if you put ramps on there or whatever you want to do, it'll support it. I'm 100% sure. But let me put the gate up. So once you got things loaded in there, whether it's sheetrock, plywood or whatever, you're now extended 8 feet, right? So again, with the original tailgate would be down in about this position here, but you can't lift the tailgate up because you're going to be short 2 feet, and the plywood just wouldn't fit in there. So having this true extension, this extended out, and then I'll show you how to operate. So just pull these pins. These are stainless pins, so they're not going to rust. Well, we actually don't even have to take them out. Just slide them out a little bit, and I'll take you a little closer here. And this is what holds the, there we can see it in there, the gate down, which gravity would probably do the trick, but I got it on a spring-loaded deal here, another pin. I don't know if you can see that operating, but we just pull it sideways, let the spring go, and then we plug in our side pins. Probably too close. I'll back it up. Well, it's not too close. And then we could put the cotter key in if need be. Then we'll do the other side here. Same thing, right? Plug her home. Put the pin in, and now we have. If we loaded this with something 8 foot, there's just junk in there now, but so this comes and it'll be extended 8 foot, right? And we still have a tailgate, and it is secure. I've tested it, won't move. So the pins are doing a trick, and this is the one that's spring loaded, just kind of sits there, and well, I'll show you. Sits there with a cotter pin, right? And then when you put the tailgate down, you just pull it in. You can go this way with it. Just let it dangle. Right? So now you can, get in here and get what you need. Otherwise, if it was in here, so this would simulate the original tailgate. If you wanted to get something out of here, right? It was kind of problematic, because like I said, I had it secured, I had it tied down, and you would try to bend over. So now having it out here, it just makes life easier. And if you're going to the station to get, fill your jugs up, Again, you can put as many jugs in here and you don't have to reach in, you can fill it here. So that's basically in a nutshell an extended tailgate. So taking this thing on and off is wicked easy. I think it's easier than the original gate because the original gate is kind of cumbersome. Like I said, it's 3 pounds heavier, which that's not a big deal. So you just reach in here, you pull straight up on your hinges, come straight back, and this thing is lightweight. Light enough weight. I mean, it's not exactly, I don't know what the pounds is, but I did weigh my original tailgate, and I weighed this thing, and it's 3 pounds lighter. So, there you have it. Easy to come on, easy to come off, flips up, it's functional. I don't know. This guy almost looks like he knows what he's doing. Alright, so I have a lot of scrap metal and just toss a lot of it out, but stuff like this is stainless. It's like 3/16 inches. This whole thing is full of these stainless, they used them at a warehouse for pushing stuff around, but can't even lift this thing. So I collect stuff out of a dumpster, whatever I can, and over the years you just pile up stuff. So most of this came out of the same dumpster. Those are curb ramps, aluminum curb ramps. They got whatever hit by a car and just bent, and they got thrown in this dumpster, and some of that stuff, the racks there, well, as you can see, they're all foobarred, but not all of it. Some of it's good stuff, and I plan on just going ahead and cutting some of these, you know, that's 3/16 too. This is good plate metal. It's again, just scrap that was thrown out. You can see there's a bend there, and you know, it was just thrown out. Good metal. So this is what I'm going to use, these racks and a lot of this plate metal to build the you know, the tailgate. I think I got way more than enough to do it, but we'll see what happens. I don't know, but we're going to take this off and start from there, and I'm probably going to use these 2 pins for the secure point. And like I said, I got some ideas. Let me start cutting up some stuff and showing you what I did in the process, and see if we can get a tailgate made that is functional, and that won't look too bad. So it should be relatively easy to do as far as the plans. I'm not going to get very elaborate. Like I said, I'm using scrap metal, so we'll see how it goes. Alright, so I don't know if you can make that on a camera, but they're pushed in. So each one of these 2 ramps is compromised, pushed in, whether they got hit by a car or whatever, but they're no good. They're not straight true anymore over there, but this side is fine. So I think I'm just going to make a 20 by 20 triangle out of both good sides, and start with that for the gussets on the side, which is going to be also the main thing that holds this thing to the truck. So like I said, that's, I think, 3/16. It's pretty thick plate metal, and so that's where we're going to start from here. Alright, so that was easy. So if you had a bigger piece of sheet metal, you could just do a 20 by 20 square, and then just have it. Because I didn't have that, I had to use 2 sheets. I ended up, you know, cutting them out individually. So I got them together now, and then I just went with a flat wheel and smoothed everything down to make it, you know, so they're identical pieces. So that's where we're at. Like I said, that's easy. That's the easy part, but we got at least got our 2 hangers. You know, we're going to sit on the lift gate, and then we'll build off of here, right? Alright, so I think the best order of business, instead of me going ahead and poking holes and trying to get this lined up for the hang part, because I only have so much scrap metal here, so this is one and done. I can't mess this up, so I'm going to save that piece, or save the, you know, the gusset parts for the hanging, once I get this frame made from here to here. And this stuff is actually a 1/4 inch thick, the tubing, which is crazy. It's 2 inches by 2 inches by a 1/4 inch, so that's going to be the main part of it. I'm going to have it coming out like this, right? And once I get that situated, before I put you know, cross members or anything like that, then I think once that's welded onto, you know, basically the half of a rectangle, then we can start poking holes in this plate, because again, I don't want to mess it up. It's going to sit you know, on these both. This one's pretty fat here, but this one here, this is just about the thickness right here, right? So when that's in there, it almost fits in well. If I clean that rust up, it'd probably be perfect. So when I make my holes, you know, the slots, it's going to plug in this way and then drop down a piece, right? So this one here is for, you know, that has that bushing that rotates, but this one don't. So that's what has to be accurate right there. When I plug this in and plug it down, that's going to have to be accurate. At the top, I can, there's a little bit of wiggle room, but anyways, that's where I'm at. So let me get this, this big ass pipe. This, again, I found some markings on there. It's 2x2 by a whopping 1/4 inch. So that's going to be a good base. And we can weld off of that. So let me get that cut up. Alright, so about to weld this up, but you know, it's 1/4 inch thick. So the spool gun, that's about the max it can do. So I got everything clamped down, and I'm just going to tack it, maybe grind it, flip it over, tack it. And as you can see, it's not exactly perfect as far as my cuts go, but I've got a line to this table here, and everything is well, as square as I'm going to get it. So I will just weld that. Acetone. Acetone. Extremely flammable. So I'm kind of debating to leave this weld as is or grind it down. I did the other side too. Grind it down so you know, when you paint it up, there'll be no welds. Alright, so we got the U done, or the you know, this is the meat and the potatoes, the side angles. So pretty soon the meat and potatoes are going to be there, and then we can build off of the frame there. But so we got the big piece built there, and now up is these little triangles, and I have an idea for that and what I've done so far. Whoops, sorry. So you see these, that's where the tailgate plugs in, you know, one of those just slides on and slides in. You know, typical tailgate, but I've taken this one and the middle one and the bottom one off. I'm going to use the top one, and I just took this piece off over here. So I've taken this off. This is where the tailgate, and it's pretty rusty. So because these two are different, this one sits like this, and the other one over there is clocked a little different. So I can't really use these. And I've taken this center piece off here. This is where you know, the cable holds your tailgate on. I'm not going to use this piece. I'm going to have to make another piece like this that's not rusty. So, and I'll probably just use round stock. So the intentions are this. So I'm just going to have a slot here, right? A slot, well, it'll be up, slot, like an L right here, right? That's exaggerated. So when we put this in, it'll be high, right? And it'll go in. And then when we shove it down, it'll rest on. Again, I'll make something here, but I'll have to notch out like a 1/2 inch or 3/4 inch U down here. So you get what I'm saying. You're just going to plug it in with the whole thing attached, you know, both sides. Plug it in, and then boom, it'll lock it in, right? That's what the plan is. So I just drilled 2 1/2 inch holes. 1, 2, took my measurements, drew some 1/2 inch, they're 1/2 inch lines that catches a 1/2 inch round. And so then just notched it out. Zing, zing. I'll do the same here. Well, move that clamp maybe, but just cut these 2 out, and then that should fit. Right, and then I'll get to the bottom. I'll get to the bottom piece here. You know, after I figure out what I'm going to do for that. Now, basically something like that. Took that, it's pretty thick stuff too. Had some scrap metal hanging around, so we'll just, like I said, we clip this out, trace the holes, bada boom, bada bing. And now I got some round stock here, some thick you know, solid round stock, and I'll just whack. Oh, that is hot. Whack a piece off, right? Find out where I need to weld it on here, because it could be anywhere. You know, I'll have to go mock it up, and just have whatever, ½ inch or an inch sticking out as a nub. So I'm gonna have to do this. So I got everything measured up, right? And to put this, it goes like this, right? Gets bolted here. There's a few things that I didn't take in consideration. I'm gonna have to get some flatter heads, because this sticks out on the top too much. It impedes a little bit. Well, you see what I'm talking about, but in a second. But the bottom one ain't gonna matter. And I was just gonna weld this like this, you know, put a bead of weld around there. But this thing is so close tolerance-wise, where this plate comes in, even a bead of weld is going to impede. So I drilled a hole in it, and this way I'll just weld it through the hole this way. And there will be nothing showing on this side, because that plate's going to run right around too close to the bead. Something like this, you know, there's no weld bead. It's just you know, everything was welded from the back. Filled the hole and ground it up, so like I said, when I put it on here, you'll see that there can be no bead of weld, because that plate is going to come so close to here. And we put it on here. I got to get some. I'm going to get some stainless hardware. These rusty bolts. While I use them again. So the top one's missing. I just got it on with this bottom one, but there's this bracket here. This came out alright. Might do maybe a couple more moves, but for right now, this is the plan. So it fits in there like that, right? And now that we have the brackets, you know, the hanging brackets, and this bracket here, I think the hard part's done. Now it's just a matter of taking the tubes, welding them together, whatever pattern I'm going to come up with. I don't know yet. I have to figure that out, but I got a few things in mind that might change. But alright, so it's shaping up. So I just got this clamped on, and everything's square, and that's about where I wanted it. I came off 20 inches off of you know, the back part of the truck there, 20 inches, and I leveled everything out, so the bed is the same you know, plane as the bar here. Alright, so we got the main frame welded up, and that came out pretty damn good. And the next part I'm working on now is this piece that needs to be bridged across here, and of course I don't have anything long enough. The only thing I had long enough was this original piece of 2x2 by 1/4 inch, which is why I put it on the outside, just because it's so thick and unbendable. I'm going to use that for the outside. In other words, if you put it like a ramp or something, have to get an ATV in or something, you know, something heavier, there's no way that's going to bend. So the rest of the stuff I'm going to have to make it out of a 1 3/4 inch square tubing, but it's nowhere near as thick. However, the racks, they're working out pretty good. The ones that are bent up, I've got two that are, the corners are good. Here, let me show you. So I just cut this piece up, right? And I had to notch this piece out because of, you know, where it's going to plug into, you know, where our brackets we made with the stem coming out. So I'm going to weld that to that, right? And unfortunately, like I said, I don't have, where are we at here? I don't have enough, it's not even close, right? So again, the rack was long enough to use two. So that's what I did. Cut this piece, same thing. And I didn't cut the final cut yet. So now I'm just going to have to find out where exactly this seam is going to be. So I got this piece welded up. Butt joints, man, they're tricky. That took a couple of passes there. That was, you know, because it's so thin gauge. The tubing was like 14 gauge, maybe even 15 gauge. So did the best I could. I had to do it 2 or 3 times, grind it down, you know, weld it back, grind it down, weld it back. I can actually grind that down again just to have it smooth, but I'm just going to leave the welds there. Alright, so next up, I'm going to have to marry it up to the main frame there. Alright, so now I got the inner piece clamped to the sides there. And now I got to come off, see how, I got to make a post going up and then bridge it across. That'll be the last 2 pieces on this, and then I can make the gate. Alright, so I got the kind of ran out of time today. Ran out of time today, so I got to add this this 10-inch piece here and here, and that'll finish the box. So I got the outer piece done. That was already done. The outer piece and now the inner piece. So then it's just gonna just fit in there something like that. I'll clamp it together. Then we'll weld it to these plates and then wherever it belongs. Somewhere in here. So I just got to thinking, if I was to weld this on just like it is, you know, weld it permanently to the sides, and of course the gates are going to be here, you know, like little barn doors opening up. And I thought, because of, you know, the meat and potatoes, this 2x2 by quarter-inch steel or quarter-inch aluminum, and the side plates are really the load part of this whole project, and the rest of it's just tying stuff together and having the barn door kind of thing. What if I want to change that, you know, or do something different with it? So what I'm thinking is I'm going to bolt this inner piece on with the gates in case I want to do something at a later date. Let me show you where I'm at with this. So I basically decided to, instead of putting rib nuts, I decided to rivet it, just pop rivet. And this way, it's semi-permanent, but you know, it'd be way easier to drill these rivets out than to actually, you know, cut welds off. If I wanted to do something else with this, chances are I'm not going to do anything else with this. But so I made these little cups here for the you know, instead of welding this upright to the base down here, I welded a cup onto the base. This way we can take this whole inner piece out, you know, just drill these rivets out, and I put a rivet there too. And then we can remove that if I need to in the future. I cut a bunch of these out, and you know, they come in handy. It's angle iron. Well, it's not iron, but you know, so they come in handy. And what I did was I cut these up to, you know, 2 pieces. So it just basically, you know, squeezes the, you know, so you can get your insert there. And the reason why this one's a little longer, just on the outside here where it sits, I'm able to at least weld it to, this belongs on the other side. But, so, you know, you can weld it here to this thick stuff, and then the cup, like I said, you weld the rest of it like that, but then it'll be like a little cup for having that pipe going there. Okay, so we're done here with the main frame, the box, and we can get to the tailgate, but or the, you know, the barn doors or whatever I'm going to do. But I want to see if this thing fits. So let's go see if this thing fits. If welding this up changed anything, hopefully not. Oops. So this thing is it's still lighter than the original tailgate, but I still got to do some moves on here. But it's still bulky as far as where you're going to hold it. But I think everything should plug in, no problem. Fits like a glove. Almost looks like I know what I'm doing there. Alright, so for the time being, I got to think about my next move here. Probably gates, maybe the cross members. I don't know yet. Probably the cross members, and then we'll monkey with the gates. So I don't have enough scrap rack to do my barn doors like I wanted. This is the only straight piece I had. Well, the legs were bent. 2 of the legs were bent in, so I cut all the legs off. And I'm going to have to use this as, and it might be better than what I had in mind anyway. But so I'll center this somewhere, and I think I got enough 3/16 plate metal to add to the sides. And I'll probably do something like a piano hinge here, right? And this way, we could fold it this way. We could fold it in. It's like a bifold. And we can also, it'll fold back to here, of course, with the metal plate on the side. It'll fill in the missing gap there. Plus, I'll have to do some cable ties or something to hang it, because it'll stay here with the piano hinge, but it'll put some stress on it. So I'll do like the original tailgate with some cable ties or something, but it'll also extend the bed out another 2 feet or whatever this rack is. Alright, so here's what I come up with. I think this work out a little better than originally. I wanted barn doors, you know, just have the gate, two swingable doors, but this is going to be way better, I think. So that is, it's going to be twofold, right, or threefold really. So you got this laid down like this. Of course, you can get stuff in and out, and it extends it out to 8 feet. But then if you want your gate, and I haven't, this is just a temporary pop riveted together just to show you, but then I'll probably put some hinges here, and then we can rotate it up. I'll have to come up with something to lock her in place there. That'll be a gate, and also it'll extend down to you know, wide open. Alright, so now I'm just I cut some what's left of that ramp there, cut some 2-inch strips, and I'm going to add some reinforcements to these ears. This is 3/16 inch, so I don't think this plate would bend, but I am going to add some, I'll show you what I'm doing over here, on this side here. You know, just basically boxing it in with some plate, and I'll probably put a piece here, cross member there, just so, you know, it's got nowhere to go, nowhere to bend, nowhere to do nothing. So this part is done. But now I'm thinking underneath here, because when this is flipped up, and I guess I'll show you when it's apart, but it leaves this big open from here to here is open. But I got some other stuff, a piece of aluminum. It's a catwalk to a big truck. I got that probably 2 or 3 years ago. Didn't even know what the heck I was going to do with it, saved it, and I think it'll work out good underneath this piece. So when you flip this up and use it as a tailgate, that catwalk will be there, so you know, if you're up in a bed, there'll be a place to walk. Alright, so this is what this thing looks like upside down, and like I said, there's a good probably 1/2 inch in here, and I've got this this little catwalk. It's pretty light, it's aluminum. I'm thinking, you know, having it somewhere there, and I'll finish this piece here with the regular, you know, 3/16. I think this is 3/16 too. And just piece these together, and that way there'll be a bottom piece to this. But I don't want this thing to get too heavy, so I'm going to weigh the original lift gate, and then I'll weigh this this gate here without the bottom pieces. As you know, right now I'll weigh it like this. I think this is still lighter than the original tailgate, and if it is, then I will add the bottom piece here. I just stepped on a scale with the tailgate there. And I did it again with the new tailgate. Believe it or not, that's 6 pounds lighter, the aluminum one, than the steel one. So I am going to put the bottom piece on. All right, so we got the this plate on. Well, kind of on. So I pop riveted it here and here just to get this secured here, because I knew the 1/4 inch. This 1/4 inch stuff here, and this is 3/16. That's not really tricky. You know, you can get the heat right pretty much. So I just welded that. But here, the tricky part is going from 3/16 to this is like 16 gauge. Really thin stuff. These welds ain't bad. This is not my my primary job, so I'm just thinking out loud here. We're good to go. And I think I'm going to have just enough. I got this other bent ramp here. This is pretty tweaked. It's got almost a kink there, but I think I got just enough to make the two on the bottom there, 2 ears. For right now, we could just cut it out rough, just for you know, with a plasma cutter. It doesn't have to be accurate. At least this go around. Alright, so we got it mapped out according to my calculations, so you can use a circular saw or whatever you got. I can even use a plasma cutter, but I'm going to use the table saw because I need this to be accurate as possible. Alright, so we got her all fitted up. Made a little notch for our cutout there for the hinge pin. And it's a little high here, but we'll just weld it in the corners and then we'll force it down. Alright, so we got the underbelly done, and we got our little notches cut out. So let's flip her over, see what it looks like. So anyways, now all we got to do is figure out, well, I got to weld the, the gate on, the hinges, but at the bottom, the tray is done. Alright, so I finally got these hinges in, these weldable, they're aluminum hinges. First thing I bought, so it's $14 a piece, so I got 30 bucks in this thing. So I just tacked it on there. So here's what I'm thinking. This will be, enclosed. And then I also want to do some, I don't know, straps or cables or something, so you can have an extension off the bed, another 2 feet, and then we can let the cables go in case you want to get in and get some stuff out of the bed. I don't know. Still thinking about it, but again, I got a few moves to make. I got to clip some stuff off, and I'm thinking I want to make some holes. And are we looking at the same thing? I just traced out, I don't know if they're going to be rectangles, regular holes, or whatever. Alright, so those hinges are, they're stuck on there. So I'm thinking on this end piece here, whoop, can't really flip it up, I'm thinking blow some holes in here. I don't know, I just blew 3 holes in it. So I ended up going with some little holes on the opposite sides, and I'll do the same thing over there. I'll clean that up just because, I don't know what I'm going to do with this gate, but when it's locked in position, so these are pretty common, these kind of bungees, so we can feed it through this little one, and plus we can use ratchet straps, I don't know, whole things, but this is going to just be, we'll poke through and you can, I don't know, strap things down, who knows. Alright, so just blew some holes on this end here, and plus a little place for when we're putting this on the vehicle, a little grab hold. Alright, so I'm done poking holes in this thing, and I haven't decided, can't decide really, whether to do big holes, little holes, or perhaps just one big giant gaping spot, or leave it, full plate, I don't know. The next part is, how are we going to secure this thing, right? Do we do like a regular gate thing, just like I don't know, you could buy probably a mechanism, you put the one part here like a regular house gate, or a gate to your fence, and just do that, I don't know, maybe. So here's what I come up with. So I took a 1/2-inch drill and went from this side through, but there's no way for me to put this in a press, so there's no way to exactly have this aligned. So that's why it's wowed out a little bit. I just wowed it out on both sides, so it's a little bit thicker than, I'll show you, than 1/2 inch. This is a tube. So I want this tube level, because when this passes through to the gate, I want this, the pin that's going to go through this tube to be level. So I got a little play to work with. And what I did was, I'm going to use this little plate here, marked out some holes. So we'll weld it to here, and then I'll pass a piece of, I got a stainless, 1/2-inch stainless, and we can put the stainless in here because it's not going to stick to aluminum, and I'll weld it around here just to make sure everything does, or just tack it or whatever. I don't know. I'll figure that out. That's what I was talking about. This might give you a better idea on, so I got these two plates, right, that I just showed you, and see how it's wonky. So we'll go ahead and this is a piece of stainless going through here, so the aluminum won't stick to the stainless. So I'll go ahead and scribe all these. I'll level everything up, make sure everything is perfectly leveled, but you see how I can move. And then scribe, cut, weld, and then we can pass this pin. I'm going to use a stainless, I'll use a stainless rod because it's just hard as nails, won't bend. And then, of course, this will be cut off, but this will enter into this gate piece down here. All right, so far so good. I got them clipped off. I'll send the rod through again just to make sure, but so can ream it out with a drill bit. Either way, I think there's enough penetration there, so I will grind that right down smooth. Right, so I think that's going to work out perfect. All right, we got it all ground down, and it looks like a solid piece. Looks like a solid piece of metal. We're going to have to, like I said, when we flip this gate up, right, we'll find where this thing's going to plug into, and because this has that vertical piece, I don't feel the need to reinforce it like this. I definitely needed to reinforce this because this is so thin, 14 gauge, if that, maybe 16 gauge. With the stainless, it would have just, you know, wowed it out. So with this 3/16 plate here, there's no way that's going to be wowed out, plus the tube in the middle, that'll be fine. Alright, so I got the heat blaring. I don't know if you're going to hear me or not, but so I welded this is stainless rod. So I welded this T together and then drilled a hole in this part. So we're going to put a pin through this, but I was just thinking, like, you're probably going to leave this on a tailgate, right? Boom, it's gone. Now I'm thinking, so this fits through, right? And then we'll pin it here once it's through the gate. But here's what I'm thinking. I've got these stainless lanyards from another project I was doing. Let's secure this somehow to this so we don't lose the pin. So I ended up putting a lanyard and a pop rivet in it just because I don't want to lose. You know, if you're loading or unloading, and you know you're going to set this pin down somewhere. So having it on a tether or lanyard or whatever. So let's see. Go like this. All right, nice tight fit. And just put your cutter key in, whatever it's called. Cool. Well, there ain't no going back now, so I'm just going to blow some holes. Just go 1, 2, 3. I might get smaller in diameter, just 3 holes. That way we have an extra place to grab hold of, or send a bungee through, or a strap, or whatever. Alright, so I got my holes done. That's about as far as I want to go. And that's the same side. So I got 2 more moves. So I don't want this thing to, going down the road, shatter, right? It's going to do 2 things. Plus, when you pick this thing up and handle it, even though it's pretty light, I don't want this to flip open if you're carrying it around, right? So I thought, why not just send a pin right through here to secure this, you know? And because it's got a little, see how it's got a little play? It'll be nice and tight. So I'm going to drill a hole here, put another stainless pin through here. But I think because I have a lot of, I just keep a lot of junk, I think I got a couple of springs I can use to, instead of having this thing on a tether, just have some kind of spring action where you just pull it back. This is this cavity is going to make a good place for it. So it'll be on a spring. Just pull it back. You know, you flip the gate up, and then when you put it down, the spring should plug back into the hole. Oops, kind of missed the center in that one a little bit, huh? Yeah, well, it's got enough material to hold on. I guess the drill walked a little bit. Not even close. So I got to get a cotter pin through there. So how this is going to work is, you can only do the one side, right? We're going to... The reason you can only do the one side is you'd have to be Wilt Chamberlain to release both of these at the same time. Wish I had all stainless. The spring and the washers aren't stainless, but what are you going to do? You got that. Got this. Second one. And then let's put a cutter key in there, or whatever it's called. Right? So now when we pull on this yakama jaka, right? Let's try it. Let's see what we got here. Oop. Oh yeah, like a glove. Like a glove. I don't know if you can see that. So, where are we at? Probably can't see it. In here. So it's got a little spring on it. So it keeps it tension. So it won't chatter going down the road. Can't lift out. And when we lift it, it's not going to flip. When you need to pull it up, we just pull it back. Let her go. Right? Alright, so it's 4 degrees outside and it's chilly, 4 degrees Fahrenheit. No matter where you're from, that's cold. So I gotta do this right quick. So I'm just gonna try to place this on here and hope for the best, because like I said, I welded and grinded and everything, so things might have changed. But the gate itself it's fairly light. I mean, you know, as far as I think I measured it before I poked holes in it on this end and all these holes here. It was 3 pounds lighter, actually, than the original gate. Just line this up. Line that up. Ha! Like a glove. Not like OJ's glove, but like a glove. Wow. So I can't wait till this is painted. It's gonna look really sweet. Let's see, what do we need to do here? So we can pull this pin. I'm starting not to feel my fingers here. Pull, just let that go. Pull this pin. Push that in a little bit. And there's our little fancy spring pin. Pull that out. Right. Flip this up. Oops. Oh, we get caught here. Alright, I only got 2 hands. I don't know if we must have pop back out. Let's see. Oh yeah, there we go. Alright. This is difficult with one hand. Let's just alright, so we just poke that in. Right? There's absolutely no need to put the pin in, but we'll do it anyways. Where is it? Can't see nothing. Right? Pin in. Just that pin alone with, you know, that's secure enough. Here's our spring pin. Kind of like how that came out. Let's do this pin in here. Sweet. Oh, there's plenty in. Fingers, can't feel them. Like I said, 4 degrees is chilly. So that is locked in. Wow, it's actually tighter than I expected it to be. So that's what it looks like. So there is an extension, right? The bed, the original bed would have been here, yeah. But now we could put a full piece of plywood in. In the future, I may or may not, man, I'm starting to shiver, may or may not go with, like if I wanted to extend this down just to here and have a full, I don't know, 10 feet or whatever it is, put some straps, you know, like to hold this, but I kind of like the idea it's just going to drape down. So, you know, if you're loading something, you know, that's 8 feet, it's going to obviously be into that bed, because that, I don't know what that bed is, 6.5, 7.5, whatever the original bed is on a short box. I don't even know if it's a short box, a standard box, or whatever it is. It ain't 8 feet, I know that. So that came out really good, I think. I don't know. You know, it's a little square looking. It's a little boxy looking, but I think once it's painted up, I'm gonna, and that's another thing. Should I do red or black? I'm thinking black. So prepping this thing for paint is the absolute worst part of this job so far. So I just took a like a wire wheel and a drill, Just went over it and over it and over it, and then took some of that acetone, that extremely flammable stuff, wiped her down. That's all I'm going to do. I mean, it's bare metal, it's aluminum, so if this doesn't work out, I don't know, maybe I'll send it out to somebody who can do a better job. But so I'm just going to rattle can this thing. I'm going to prime it first with a gray primer. I'm going to start on the bottom here. I'll probably just do the bottom surfaces, let that dry, maybe 2 coats, I don't know, and then paint it with the flat black. I think I decided flat black. Paint that 1 or 2 coats, and then let that dry, cure, whatever, and then see where we're at. All right, so that's, we did the bottom, flipped it over to the top, opened things up. So that's 1 coat of the Ultra Touch, you know, you get at Home Depot, 1 coat coverage, all that crap. It's primer, but, so I don't know if I'm going to do 2 coats. I might, just because, you know, because I bought 4 cans. It took 2 cans to do, you know, what I've done here. Like I said, I flip it over, did both sides, got an extra 2 cans. She's all painted up, so I guess if I ever get rid of my truck, I can just buy some cushions, yeah? Make this a little metal love seat, hang it from a tree. Just the flat black. This paint is not going to last long. I mean, I say last long because, you know, as soon as it scrapes on something, you're going to see the aluminum, but I'm not worried about it because it's not going to rust. It's aluminum underneath. So I'm happy with that. I think the flat black looks good, but it'll look better on the truck. Yeah, so it's been a couple weeks since that paint dried, and one thing I didn't take into consideration is when you hook a trailer up, you know, if you got a tight turn radius, is this thing going to impede? And no, it's nowhere close, so that's a bonus round. And what was the other thing? So I went, it's been on rough road, highway speed, and it's still there, so it didn't fall off, which I didn't think it would. But so it's been tested, it's been, you know, through the ringer, and it's holding up, although it's just been 2 weeks and 200 miles basically. So I'm just trying to wrap this video up with, you know, if you're going to do this yourself, it's kind of easy to do if you got the ways and means, and if you know, you're going to build out aluminum or you know, regular steel or crap. If you're, you know, if you're not going to use it for like a load bearing thing, if you're not going to drive anything up on there, you know, you could probably just make it out of wood, really. Or today they got like vinyl sheeting, pretty thick vinyl sheeting. You could probably just glue everything together. You know, if it's not going to be used for a load bearing thing, if it's just going to be used for, you know, to contain what's in your bed for an extension, I guess you can make it on anything. And the other thing I was going to say is, so when you're at a big box store and you're getting a load of cement or, I don't know, pellets or whatever's heavy, and an old junior there that's 18 years old is on his forklift there trying to, you know, come in, I don't want him to bash this thing, because even though it'll take a load, you know, it's just aluminum, right? So because this thing is so lightweight and comes off so easy, you could basically just stand there and hold it while he puts your pallet of junk on, and then you'd be golden. And because there's no extension here, you know how they put it in, I don't know if you know, they put the pallet in and it won't go all the way because you don't want to hit your regular tailgate, and then it'll back the fork out, lift it up a little bit, and then it's on an angle, and you just skid along your line X. I always like that. So now you'll be able to just drive right in, which is another bonus round. The gate won't be there, you'll be holding it, and drive in, set it down, and because it's a short box, it'll even work out better because be right over your axles, right? So anyways, thanks for watching. If you got any ideas that you might have did different or whatever, leave them in the comment section. I always like when, you know, you learn new things. So anyways, until next week or whenever. So another bonus feature is, you know, this thing would be normally folded in, but you fold it out. Remember I was talking about making straps or cables to secure it somehow, and then we could release it to go down. No need. If you've got some lumber, let's say 2x4s or whatever, that extends, and I'm just using this little pole, it's a lightweight aluminum pole to simulate it, but whatever it sticks out, like if you could pick up some 14-footers, so this would be 8, well 14, whatever the legal limit is, you know, sticking out, you can actually, I use the original pinholes for the, you know, or you can use any of the holes really that I blew out, and just do a strap. Like I say, you had a lot of boards in there, just do a strap. This would, you know, it's not going to be really load bearing, but because most of the load's in the bed, but at least it will have some support instead of it sticking out way out, you know, like that. You can get your gate up and just cinch it up like that. Yeah. Anyways, that's all I got. Thanks for watching. Again, this guy kind of looks like he knows what he's doing, even though I just did it off the top of my head, but it came out good. Anyways, thanks for watching.